In the years past, when the Homeless Persons Healthcare Project provided us with the names, they provided us with the first name, the last name, and the age of the person when they passed away. So you could tell who the people were, and it was much more dignified. Now the county took over the project from the Homeless Persons Healthcare Project, and they decided that they would no longer use the last name or provide the age they were at time of death. So and also we do know that a number of people who passed away, they're not on this list, who were homeless people who died outside, they're not on the list. So anyway, so that is going on, and it seems to be super undignified and there's no real reason to do this. So what happened, what the county said was we can't use the last names because of HIPA. But these people have passed away. And had they sent me this list with no last names before 4 o'clock on Friday, I could have gone to the coroner's office and filled in the last name so we would actually know who these people are. It's very, very unfortunate that they have done this and eliminated our ability to know who these people are, and also to read the names today seems really crazy, because all it is a bunch of first names that are mostly very common, and it could be anybody. So this is like a tragedy. It's an erasing of the homeless intentionally by the county of Santa Cruz. And I suspect, although I didn't get confirmation of this from Homeless Persons Healthcare Project, but I believe that the county took the project away from the Homeless Persons Healthcare Project to minimize the deaths. So the amount of deaths is also substantially less on their list of first names than is probably the case. So I've had several people contact me who have read the list and tell me that the names of their friends who were homeless who died outside are not on the list, not even their first name. So because they actually had more unusual names than which could have been identified on the list. So anyway, that's the story here. I'm almost tempted just to read the names myself, because why, unless somebody wants to, in the past we've had people read them, but they're insane. So I'm going to divide this up into little groups, and so people can read the names, even though it's kind of, there's some people you could potentially figure out who they are. So the first name is Caitlin. So we don't know who Caitlin L is, but Caitlin L died outside.
Daniel, Abby, Jesus, Jacina, Matthew, Omar, John, Bonifacio, Cruz, Maro, and Devin.
Yeah, I'd like to dedicate this tribute to real people. These are real people. They have first names here. I just heard that we didn't even get included the last names, but what I want everybody to know, these are everybody someone. Some people out here that are just like you. They're brothers, they're sisters, they're husbands, they're wives. They're real people. And I'd like to give them as much dignity as I can right now, even though all I have is their first name. Tommy, Terrence, Ryan H., Scott Ramirez. We know Scott Ramirez, who's a real guy, great guy. Warren T. Jeremiah V. Ivy B. Michael S. John K. Nathan
Barnes, that's squirrel.
B.
That's squirrel.
Bruno R. David R. And that's it. But I just want to make sure you know these are all somebody's brothers, mothers, cousins, uncles, real people.
Yep, every one of these are people that live in our community and died in our community, largely at neglect.
Unfortunately, I don't recognize people from their first names, and of course, there are no street names, as I think you pointed out. So I've always said that you need that, not only at this memorial, but of course at the fancier, dancier one that they did on Friday. But they aren't paying any attention yet. I guess we have to do it ourselves if we ever can. I'll read out the names. Jeffrey R. If you recognize any of these people, shout out what their street name is, or if you know them. That's one thing I suggest people do. Oscar M. Matthew L. Lance M. Arturo D. Michael A. Paul A. Karen Karyn S. Beerge S. Stephen with a V M. Daniel S. Fred A. Carol E. Jose C.
We'll have a moment of silence for the people who passed here shortly. But I also want to point out that we lost 2 Food Not Bombs volunteers this year. Timothy passed away, and Joy passed away. So these are 2 core long-time Food Not Bombs volunteers. And I forget what date Timothy died, but Joy died on October 2nd. So that's like to honor them as well. So why don't we have a moment of silence, and then afterwards, if anybody wants to come up and say anything, maybe there's somebody that passed that was not listed on here. I know people have been telling me that there are people who died outside on the streets that were not on this list. So now let's do a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Now, if people want to come up and talk about their friends who have passed away this year, tell about their lives, please come forward and do so.
Thank you for Sure. Excuse me. So there was a guitar player. Did we mention Rosie? Did I miss Rosie? I mean, I don't know if she was necessary. I don't know her living situation. And isn't that funny? Right when we say Rosie, there goes the flag. And her face is on that box right there. On the side facing us, the surface facing us, her face is there. And it says Rosie Posey. She was an amazing guitar player and went to the, was like a part of the culture of Santa Cruz and went to the 418 dance studio to the Grateful Dead dance when they play the live Grateful Dead shows on their stereo and everybody's dancing. I was there too. Amazing guitar player. Being experienced at guitar myself and hearing her play. I guess I'll tell my story briefly of her. When I got to finally, meet her rather than just pass and compliment her playing. It was at the neighbor's bar, and I wanted a shot of scotch and didn't know how much this certain scotch was. And so anyway, I had paid more in my life for a shot of scotch than I will ever again, and that's the only way to honor her. That I, such an auspicious night where we finally get to talk and then she's gone, and then I find out she's gone. So it was quite shocking. And yeah, I would never spend $40 on a shot of scotch again. At the time, I happened to have it, and it was like whatever kind of. It was like Trans Day Remembrance or something. So anyway, that's Rosie, and then Zachary, who he passed in 2013. Was a friend of mine and was around here and was a caregiver for a female named Jackie. And went into a motel room with another man and never came out. So fill in the blanks on that one. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful.
It's hard to recognize the names. I'm very grateful to you, Craig, for honoring them and the recognition that they deserve. However nameless they are right now. Our Food Not Bombs volunteer, Joyce Benet, who passed on October 2nd, I put her name out to represent all the people in this community, all the people that are living outdoors. In the 5 years that I've known Joy, we must have sent each other 1,000 emails that had to do with, what we do. And her email always ended in, may all be fed, may all be loved, and may all be healed. And I really felt her presence, especially this weekend. And love her, and I miss her so much. And I find myself recalling one of the last moments that I spent with Joy shortly before she died. And actually Keith was there too. Keith and I were up at Joy's property, and we were sitting out on a deck in the sun having a very comfortable conversation. And Joy, said, as very matter-of-factly, as the way she could be at times, she said, my health hazard it's got me so exasperated at times I feel like crying. And the conversation, or the theme of the conversation, went in the direction of honoring one's emotions when faced with something seemingly impossible. And so Joy turned to me and said, what about you, Drew? Where do you stand on crying? Are you a crier? I said, Joy, are you kidding me? I cry at stop signs. And here she was, in her last days, and I swear this feisty, wonderful tigress that we all knew, that we were all blessed to know, she let out a laugh as hearty as like any 20 people here could combine. And I really, really miss her, and that's the way it's going to be. And I feel the loss of those who have been part of my experience of being out here in the community with the homeless who are no longer here, no more. And thank you.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, my last conversation with Joy, she goes, when you go to heaven, there won't be any cell phones, I hope. And I go, if you get up there and there's cell phones, you did not go to heaven. And she laughed real hard. That was a really nice last memory of Joy. And boy, it has been filling her void has not been easy. It's been really, really tough. And certainly has changed Food Not Bombs a lot because of her passing.
I don't know if my friend Mark has died or not. I just haven't seen him for the past 10 months or more. And I suspect he did. But he was one of my best friends. And he was a very gentle person, very soft-spoken, quiet man, very deeply thoughtful, and I had some of the best conversations in my life with him. And so wherever he is, I wish him well.
So there was another list that the county provided, which was over twice as long as the list of people who passed away outside, of people who passed away in housing. And my assumption is that they, they got housing, and I don't know how long those people had housing before they died. But I want to say that when my brother and my sister-in-law died, they died in a house. And that meant a lot to me because they had spent 25 years living outside. And they finally got into housing, and they got to live in housing for almost 5 years before they passed away. So even though there's probably a nefarious reason why the list of people who died housed is twice as long, and it's even being published, and that's because it's being published by the county, and the names are being provided to us by Housing for Health, and by the county itself, by the Housing Matters, and it's very important for them to let people know that they get some people into housing. So I can understand their desire to promote that, but it is, they didn't offer those people's last names either, or their age of death either, nor even the details of how they finally got housing. Something that would be really, really valuable to, because we all hope people get housing, but, and a lot of these people may have only been in the housing for a week before they passed away. Maybe they died in housing, being the Dominican hospital, or long-term care, or some things of that nature. Like Cherie, when she died, she had been homeless for years, and she got captured by the county and forced into a mental health system. And then when she was released after, I believe, 6 months, she went cold turkey on the psych meds and died of a heart attack within a week of being freed from the mental health system. So she would technically have died inside, even though she'd been inside either a mental facility against her wishes or in this apartment for 1 week before she passed away. So, it's, we definitely are missing a lot of people, and definitely preferable to die inside. Joe died inside. He was very appreciative of us helping him get housing. He was our security person, but I do believe he died in the last year and not this year.
Joe Pace.
Huh?
Joe Pace.
Yeah, Joe Pace. Yeah. So, and then when I was starting to say is when I go through to look for photos. For instance, when trying to do pictures of Joy when she died, and so I go through the whole new reel that you have, and there is Ricky and and Chief making fun over here, and they passed. That's like it's a whole photo roll of friends of ours from the street who we give such fond memories when you see them, but it is very sad to know that they did not make it.
My name is Don, I go by Abe, but some of you know me. I'm among the homeless community here in Santa Cruz for 2 years now, and I'm proud to say I'm homeless. And the problem here is, in my vision, is different than respectfully to every non-profit organization there is, okay? The culture has to change between us and them and us. Homelessness is a corruption problem, okay? So if you do the math, just in California alone, what money is paid to the homeless, as far as, you can shake your head all you want.
Services.
And the homeless, I don't mind using that word, okay?
Yeah.
The money is given, if you do the math, every homeless will have $750,000, okay? $750,000. Let's say I'm the biggest loser homeless there is, okay? $750,000, I think I can get it together between the other stupids around me, which is not the case. Among the homeless in Santa Cruz, I've met the smartest people on earth. I have traveled to 16 countries, and I've been around the homeless communities. I've been a homeless advocate for 28 years. but been homeless for 2 years, and I stay homeless because I believe homelessness can be abolished altogether, okay? Now, the homeless community, us, needs to do certain things. Number one, unite. We cannot be thieving each other, we can be raping each other, beating each other, we cannot be doing kind of stuff, okay? We have to have some kind of conduct role, okay? Some kind of ethics. And then there gotta be liaisons between the homeless and the city. Could you please let me speak? I appreciate it, okay? So, there should be unity among the homeless, okay? Number one. Two, there's something that homeless, we have got to a point where we have lost hope, so we rebel and say we trash it, we do this, those things need to be done. But yet there's the community, which are the doctors and the smart ones, which some of us have more education than they do and a lot smarter than they are, in a sense. But yet they wouldn't rise to the occasion and do what's right and fix the problem by doing it right, okay? The homeless can get the food they want, the homeless can get the clothes they want, the homeless can get whatever they need, they can get it. They don't need non-profits, they don't need nobody, they'll get it. They'll either steal it, thug it, whatever they're gonna do, speak it, con you out of it, they will get it, okay? The problem is they need love, hope, companionship, and the closeness, and give it a chance to know, and also for the community to know that these people are humans. When he says, somebody of you died, man, that sister I don't even know who died, that's my sister. That's another human being who's died. Okay? This guy died, I don't know his name, drunk guy. I believe they killed him, okay? And the cause of death, oh, he didn't get alcohol. No, man, that's not the case, okay? Instead of worrying, America is the nation that brings people from all over the world to house here. It's a shame that America has homeless people. That's bullshit.
Amen.
Okay, so don't be fooled by nonsense of the government. So the problem is money, okay, money, okay? So the homeless, they don't want them out of here. They bring Santa Cruz back. It's all nice, it's all real estate guys, okay? They're shuffling and making money with the homeless. Okay, so if the homeless unite and not act, oh, the police is this, no, do it right, and then you see results where homeless can show that we are humans and we can do this, but not by rebelling, but actually doing it. Okay, can do it. Okay, but everybody needs to tighten up. The non-profits, the government, the president, everybody. It's a human problem, man. Okay, God bless you all. Unite each other, love each other, be safe. And don't look at your neighbor and say, that's a piece of shit, I'm not going to help him. If you don't help him, nobody will, sir.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Abe. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay.
My name is Sandy. Hello. Hi. Have you ever been in the war? Well, I have been. I've been in the Army, in the Navy, and I want to congratulate you on today. I'm not that old, but if I were, would I had to pass my number down to a bigger person just so he could sit down and I foot the bill. But I want to congratulate you on today, and Starlet and Charlene. They knocked my socks off.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas, tell them.
It's Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, so people might not know this, but there will be a Christmas meal on the 25th at the Vets Hall, and I believe it starts at 11? 11:30. So please show up, because a lot of times people end up there too late and they miss the Christmas meal. Till 2 o'clock.
Yes, I would like to say, may the circle be unbroken, by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Thank you so much. Okay, Joe.
Well, thank you all for letting me feed some of you, many of you. I just want to announce we will be doing New Year's Black Eyed Peas Hoppin' John. it takes food to keep us going, and Keith has been a wonderful guiding light for many, many years. There's a lot of things we don't get, and there's a lot of things we'll never get, and it's wonderful that we can get food, and I hope we may continue to get food on into the foreseeable future. And thank you all.
Thank you, Joe.
Yay! Thank you, Joe. Woo-hoo.
I don't know if this will be the last comment, but I thought it might be a nice way to, at least for me, to sign off. I brought this with me today, not knowing I was going to read it. And you know, it's a really wonderful time of year, and this last weekend that we spent together, there was just so much love, you know, and it's a love that transcends haves and have-nots, and rich and poor, and housed and unhoused. Just the love that we share, that gets each other through whatever we have to deal with, because we always keep returning to love. When I was listening to Abe speak, you know, Abe, no matter what he was saying, no matter how fiery he got, it all came back to love. It all came back to remember that love that we share. That's the most powerful essence that we have. And I have this little excerpt from a Rumi poem that I'd like to read that speaks to that. This is from Jalaluddin Rumi, a Sufi mystic poet. This we have now is not imagination. This is not grief or joy, not a judging state or an elation or a sadness. Those come and go. This is the presence that doesn't. What else could human beings want? When grapes turn into wine, they're wanting this. When the night sky pours by, it's really a crowd of beggars, and they all want some of this that we are now. Amen.
Thank you.
It's hard to follow that poem that Drew just read, so, but I gotta say that for all the money that gets spent on killing, for funding genocides in Palestine, and on and on and on, ICE and so on and so forth, one fucking tenth of 1% of that money could give health care and education to everybody. And this is a fucking insane system that is ripping people off any way it can. Not just people, the whole planet, animals, the planet itself. It's all being ripped off, chewed up, and spit out by a bunch of 1% assholes. And instead is one of the best words in the language. Instead of letting myself get too upset about that, I decide to do sacred alchemy and take that shit and turn it into compost by redirecting that anger into building community and organizing. And that's what we need to do, because the biggest part of homelessness is about loss of connection, family, and community. So we need to rebuild that. Take piles and piles of their trials with smiles, because it riles them, said the Moody Blues.
Right on.
Hey, Moody Blues. Okay, yeah. Cool.
I myself personally survived an attempted murder earlier this year, and went to HPHP when someone was kicking my head when I was on the ground, and it could have put the bridge of my nose into my brain, which would have been instant death. So I'm not trying to bring the focus onto me. I know this is about honoring those who have gone, but it's really changed my life. And you know, if I were just gone, if it had been successful, it was in the woods. Suki, out, please.
God bless you.
Thank you. So I'm just glad I can honor Rosie right now.
Well, thank goodness we're not saying your name as a person who passed this year. That is one blessing.
The system we're stuck in makes me wonder sometimes.
It's all
real. Like, I was hoping to make some more anecdotal comments similar to others, but that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Okay.
But I just feel this has got to be said because I don't know what's the exact number of homelessness you got down there that have passed this year.
By the way, this is Zach, the boss of Coral Street.
I'm not that. I'm just a guy. I'm a guy.
37, mate.
How many? 37. So there's 37 deceased on here. I imagine that most of them, not most of them, but some of us had addiction issues. And if they would have died of cancer, or if they would have died of something else, there would have been a huge outcry and everybody would feel that that was really sad. Last time I checked, that the disease is chronicalized just as that now. But when somebody dies of drug addiction, nobody feels, it's not like, oh man, or when, let's say I get some clean time and I get sober and I fall off. Nobody feels bad about that. But if I have cancer and it goes into remission and it comes back, everybody's going to be really sad. Oh, that's so horrible. Did you hear about what happened to Zach? His cancer came back. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have tears and they're going to line up to try to help me out. But they're not lining up to help out the dope fiends. Not all of them. I know this because I struggle with it off and on. My mother struggled with it off and on. Some of you might know her. She's deceased now. She drowned a few years ago, right after Christmas. Christina Feinstein is my mother. So, and she struggled with it too. But not everybody's cursed with that thing. But if you are, it is just that, a disease. Because if you would have walked up to me when I had 3 cars in my driveway and a house and my son and the old lady and said, hey, Zach, peep game, check play. You got 2 choices right now. You can go do this sack, and you're gonna lose all of this and be a fucking troll in Santa Cruz. Because when I was a kid, that's what they called guys like me, fucking trolls. I'm a troll, okay? If you can be a troll in Santa Cruz, smoke this, or stay on the track that you're on, and whatever this you may have or lose, who knows? But at least you won't die on Coral Street, right? There's no way in hell that I would have chose that bag of dope. But I did, and so did a whole bunch of people. This isn't about me either. So did a whole bunch of these people on this list. And as far as, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because, as far as I'm concerned, one of the biggest stigmatisms with homelessness is the fact that they're a bunch of loser addicts. They're just a bunch of dope fiends. Look, no, that's not true. They have the only disease in the fucking world that tells you don't have it, and it's trying to fucking kill you. If you have cancer and you go to the doctor and they say, hey, guess what? You got cancer. You're going to go get your chemo. You're going to listen to what they say. You're going to try to live. If they say you got type whatever the fuck diabetes, you're going to get your shot and you're going to do all that stuff. Drug addiction is the only thing in the world known to man that tells you don't have it and it's trying to kill you. So we're not all a bunch of pieces of shit.
I'm following up what he said. He is from Coral, and I spend probably 4 days or more a week on Coral Street. He is a beautiful, beautiful person. He helps. I deliver things and he helps me to distribute them, and we work together. And what I'm telling you about homeless people, beautiful, beautiful, grateful people, intelligent, kind. They just got on the wrong track, but they're not trash. They are absolutely beautiful. They are much more beautiful than a lot of people that I know. And I'm very emotional about it because I know them personally. Like I said, I'm there at least 4 or 5 times a week. I'm just emotional. Thank you. I love the homeless people, especially on Coral. They are absolutely beautiful. They're so grateful. I never meet people in my entire life that when I give them a blanket, they just have so much gratitude. It's embarrassing to me that we're not doing any more about Coral Street and in general about the homeless people. I come from World War II in Germany, and I know what it is. to be poor, to not have any food, not have a home. So I'm doing this for the poor people because they are beautiful. They're so very, very beautiful. That's all I have to say. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm so emotional. I love those people. Coral.
Okay.
They're my favorite people.
Excellent. Oh, thank you so much, Helga. That's beautiful.
I think all of us people should get together. We should boot the billionaire welfare people, the ones who are getting all the welfare from the government. Everybody should have at least a house, a small place to keep warm. This is totally doable. This is ridiculous that we have people dying here from homelessness. That's what it is, and it's basically about poverty. Every religion under the sun talks about help your neighbor. This is an outrage, and I'm so over it. That's all I really wanted to say. We could easily afford places for people to be, jobs for people to have, but we have to absolutely demand it. And of course, now we're in this zenith. We have this psychopath, nutty Looney Tunes in the White House, but we all know that's not the problem. That's the symptom of the problem. So I just wanted to say that. Carry on. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.